Welcome, you lovely freelancers. This is your host, Zachronious. If you're new to my channel, press that subscribe button so you're notified when I post new content. All subscriptions are free, and if you like anything discussed today, go ahead, hit that like button. For you reoccurring viewers, I thank you for your subscriptions. Alright, now today I'd like to talk about power scaling of the weapons, how older weapons are basically not utilized, just like the grenade launcher as seen here with the Colossus. Then discuss an idea about melee weapons that, if you've watched in any of my previous streams, you probably have heard me mention only briefly before. The weapons and the power scaling. Now, we all know that the new weapons are very OP, and all the old weapons are pretty much under par. Now, I say the older weapons are under par is because due to the Cataclysm giving us that 80% power level with the new guns. I think after the Cataclysm, devs should have scaled up the old guns to 80. However, they didn't, and instead everyone's increased to the base damage with the inscriptions ranging up to 250%. By now, everyone I'm sure has seen this increase at some point in at least one of their drops. It's their way of leveling the field with the older weapons without having to change too much of the game overall. It sucks, I know. This is why no one is really using like the shotguns, grenade launchers, light machine guns, etc. And it feels like everyone is kind of running the same playstyle because of this power 80 scaling. And with the older weapons being so different, made gameplay feel fun and exciting. Now there is no diversity between players, which feels blah. I must mention about the Zachronious Gambit being so totally pointless now. I mean, here's a gun that's got such a slow reload, and when it reloads it's supposed to make a combo detonation if you're close by. Well, it's not very big for the detonation radius, and everyone is kind of stealing all the combos anyway. So yeah, I mean, the Zachronious Gambit, it was a great gun, did a lot of damage if you had a lot of rounds in it, but now it's just, it's pointless. I mean, it's almost like not even worth having. So yeah, the 250% increase on inscriptions per damage is greatly appreciated for the older weapons. However, I really wish that BioWare would have put, you know, an increase to the power scale at 80, just like the newer weapons after the Cataclysm. Alright, so moving forward, I am talking about melee weapons. Thank you, BioWare, for the new melee weapons that you have given us. Oh my god, they are awesome. I would like to suggest, or maybe kind of, you know, hint into the ear. You know, I would kind of thinking about it. I would like to see some primitive weapons. I mean, we have throughout Tarsus all this murals and stonework showing all these javelins with some bows. We have out in free play, we got, you know, Colossus statues with giant spears in their hands. Yeah, can we get some primitive weapons for our javelins? I mean, I know that we were originally talking about, you know, some of the swords, so the things I want to hit real quick on about is spears, staffs. You know, it'd be cool that if we had some spears, some staffs, you know, maybe some melee for damage on like the staff aspect. But for the spears, you know, I've already thought that maybe you could do, you know, a spear with fire on the end of it for doing some fire damage. You know, one of the spears tipped with acid to do acid damage on it. You could make a spear like a trident, you know, for, you know, water, but it would actually do ice. And, you know, of course, you got a steel spear that would call down lightning onto it wherever you hit it on your target, and they would all do like an impact damage. Real quickly, clubs, you know, some big clubs or some small clubs, you know, give a Colossus a giant club that does straight damage. Bows. Let's talk about some bows and crossbows. Maybe throw that stuff in there. That would do some impact damage. You know, you could put flames or acid on the tips of those. Yeah, I mean, come on, let's get some primitive stuff on here, as opposed to, you know, just the melee weapons that we do have. I mean, you can really make this stuff interesting. I know that they have it in them. And as far as like the clubs would do, or the swords, you know, you got a long sword or a short sword, they would do pretty much just like a damage. You know, slamming down would be just like a blast damage, or you could strike like a lunge for impact damage. You know, they would be only specific, you know, damage specific, as opposed to, you know, a universal like elemental damage stuff. Okay, so moving forward, I would like to talk about the armor. The armor is awesome. You know what they've been coming out with, their ideas. This N7 armor sets that they put out for everybody is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, nobody can argue that. The BioWare, you guys have really outdone yourselves on this aspect. I was kind of wondering if, you know, while I'm cycling through all of my personal likes, you know, on my javelins, and this is going through pretty much all three of my pilots here. So I do have some extensive. Now I don't have every single slot made, but yeah. You know, I was talking. You know, I really like all this bones from the Halloween event, the metal works that they've been putting into this. But I know that there's a lot of guys that have originally put in like material type of like javelins. And I was kind of wondering, what do you guys think? Do you would you like to see like some just straight material type of like suits? You know, kind of get away a little bit from all this metal. I know the javelins are supposed to be against, you know, with the Anthem and everything, but you know, the Storm is pretty close to, you know, like a material type of armor. You know, they've come out with some of these on the arms, the seals, how they're more flat. They're not super flashy or anything like that with the metals, as of, you know, recent. But yeah, can we get some of this here, BioWare? It's just straight, you know, material looking, not none of this clunky kind of armor. And lastly, I'd like to mention this. BioWare, please, for the love of your fans, the community you've created through all your hard work in putting this beautiful world together, give them this ursix helmet that they were supposed to have since the very first mission in the whole game. I think if anything is supposed to be free, you owe this to the whole Anthem community. Well, freelancers, that's it for now. I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed any part of my video, go ahead and hit that share button. Also, I would love to read your comments down below. Tell me what you think. New to my channel? You should hit that subscribe button for notifications on future content. You can follow me on Twitter @ZachSpawn. And once again, I thank you.